Good morning, dear students. Today, we shall discuss the topic phoneme and allophone. This is given in page number 36 in your linguistics textbook. Let's begin with the word phoneme. What do you mean by phoneme or phone? When you hear the word phone, then the idea of a sound comes to your mind, right? So, a phoneme is a segment of sound. And if I define a phoneme in accurate terms, a phoneme is the minimal distinctive unit of sound. Phoneme is the minimal distinctive unit of sound. It is minimal because it cannot be divided further or it cannot be split into further parts and analyzed. That's why we call a phoneme is the minimal distinctive unit of sound. Distinctive means it can be distinguished from other sounds. That's why it is distinctive unit of sound. If you replace one phoneme with another phoneme, then the meaning of the word will change. Take for example the word pin, P-I-N, pin. And I'm taking the first phoneme of the word pin. What is the first phoneme of the word pin? It is P, right? So now, if I try to replace the phoneme P with another phoneme B, then the word becomes bin. Pin becomes bin. And the meaning has changed. So, one phoneme cannot be replaced or substituted by another phoneme. And that's why we say phonemes are distinctive units of sound. Since you cannot substitute one phoneme with another phoneme, we say that phonemes are in contrastive distribution. So this is a term which you should learn. Contrastive distribution means it's a term used to describe the nature of phonemes. A phoneme is the minimal distinctive unit of sound. Minimal in the sense it cannot be further divided or split. Distinctive because one can be clearly distinguished from another phoneme. You cannot substitute one phoneme with another phoneme. If you do that, then the entire meaning of the word will change, the pronunciation also will change. And therefore, we call phonemes to be, we say that phonemes are in contrastive distribution. Okay, and then you need to know another phenomenon called minimal pairs. So just now I told you that pin and bin, a set of words. I gave you the example of pin and bin, a pair of words, right? Apart from the first phoneme, they are alike. First phoneme is P in pin and the first phoneme is B in bin. So this is the only difference that exists between this pair of words, pin and bin. The remaining part, it's exactly alike. Think of another pair of words, that is pit and pat. Pit and pat. Here also, you find that these words begin in the same consonant, the same phoneme, end in the same phoneme, but only the middle phoneme is different. Right? So, it's a pair of words which is different only with regard to one phoneme. Okay? So, we call such pairs of words which are different only with respect to a single phoneme. We call them minimal pairs. Minimal pairs. It's explained in page number 36 itself. So, in English we have several pairs of words or sets of words in which They differ from each other only with respect to one single phoneme. Okay, only with respect to a single phoneme. Such pairs of words are called minimal pairs. Example, tip, tap, fit, pin, win, pin. So maybe the first phoneme is different, maybe the middle phoneme is different, maybe the word final phoneme is different. So the pairs of words wherein one phoneme makes the difference, they are called minimal pairs. I hope you understood this. So what is phoneme? Phoneme is the minimal distinctive unit of sound. It cannot be further divided or analyzed. That is the minimal unit. And one phoneme cannot be substituted by another phoneme. Phonemes are entirely different from each other. And therefore, we say that phonemes are in contrastive distribution. And we learn minimal pairs. Words like pin, bin, tip, tap, pit, pat, etc. They differ from each other only with respect to a single phoneme, and that is why we call them as minimal pairs. Now, we will move on to the next topic, that is allophones. It's a very important area. Allophones. Allophones are the variations of a phoneme. A phoneme can be articulated or pronounced in more than one way. Variant pronunciations may be there for a single phoneme. Such variations in the pronunciation of a phoneme are known as allophones. But you should notice one thing. Even though slight variations are there in the pronunciation of the phoneme, they do not make any change in the meaning of the word. Only with respect to the pronunciation of the phoneme there is a slight variation, but the phoneme is the same. So allophones are phonemically the same but phonetically different. Phonetically different means when you try to articulate or pronounce that makes a difference. That's why it's phonetically different but phonemically they are the same. Phonemically എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ phoneme എന്ന നിലയിൽ അതൊന്നു തന്നെയാണ്, ഒരു phoneme തന്നെയാണ്. പക്ഷേ ആ ഒരു phoneme-ന്റെ ഒരു വകഭേദം പോലെയാണ് allophones വരുന്നത്. Is that clear to you? You will understand that when I give you 3 examples. Let us take P, the consonant P. So the consonant P comes under the category of plosives. It's a plosive consonant, P. So there are 2 variations of P. So what is the name given to the variations of a phoneme? The name given to the variations of a phoneme is allophones. So we can say that the consonant, the plosive consonant P has 2 variant pronunciations or 2 variations, or the consonant P has 2 allophones. Which are they? That is represented using square brackets. One is aspirated H and the second one is unaspirated P. So both are written inside square brackets. Aspirated H is written using a superscript H, P, and on top of that you put H. How do you articulate aspirated P? H. And the second one is unaspirated P. Without any puff of air, you just plainly say P. That's also written in square brackets. It's given in page number 37. You can have a look at that. Take for example the word pin, pen, pin, pen. In all these cases, the first consonant is P and it's articulated along with a puff of air. A small puff of air is also exhaled from your mouth as you say pin, pen, etc. So, this allophone of the consonant P is called aspirated P. When you say that it's different, it's not P, it's H. pin, pen. Okay? And the second case is unaspirated per, the plain per. That's also written using square bracket. Simply write per within a square bracket. Maybe the word tap, lip, etc. There you do not exhale a puff of air along with per. So there is no such sound as in the case of aspirated per. So what you need to understand is when the plosive consonant per occurs in the initial part of the word, then normally it is aspirated, like pin, pen, etc. Okay? And it is unaspirated in other words like tap, lip, etc. So two variations of the same phoneme are given. What is the phoneme under discussion? Per. It has two variations, her and per. We call such variations allophones. And you have to notice one thing. If you use aspirated per, you say it as pen. And if you use unaspirated per instead of per, you say pen. But whether or not you are using the aspirated or unaspirated version, it does not cause any change in the meaning. Her ennu paranjalum, per ennu paranjalum, basically adu per enna consonant thaneyanu use cheyyunnathu. അപ്പോൾ അവിടെ അർത്ഥത്തിന് വ്യത്യാസങ്ങൾ വരുന്നില്ല. നിങ്ങൾ ആസ്പിറേറ്റഡ് per യൂസ് ചെയ്താലും അൺആസ്പിറേറ്റഡ് per യൂസ് ചെയ്താലും അർത്ഥവ്യത്യാസങ്ങൾ വരുന്നില്ല. So that is the point that you need to highlight. Per is the aspirated version and per is the unaspirated version. Both are variations of the consonant per. One is aspirated, the other one is unaspirated. So whether you are using unaspirated per or aspirated per, it doesn't matter because it does not cause any meaning change. And that is the speciality of allophones. So aspirated per and unaspirated per are variations of the phoneme per. They are the allophones of the phoneme per. And if you replace one with another, it does not make any change in the meaning. പ്രൊനൗൺസിയേഷനിൽ നേരിയ ഒരു വ്യത്യാസം ഉണ്ടെന്നുള്ളതല്ലാതെ ആലോഫോണിൽ ഏത് ഉപയോഗിച്ചാലും മീനിങ്ങിൽ വ്യത്യാസം വരുന്നില്ല. പെൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാലും പെൻ എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാലും അർത്ഥം ഒന്നു തന്നെയാണ്. The meaning does not change. അതുകൊണ്ട് we say that allophones are in complementary distribution. They are not in contrastive distribution. ഒന്നിൽ നിന്ന് വ്യത്യാസമല്ല. They are not in contrast with each other. But they are in complementary distribution. When we learn phonemes, we learn the term contrastive distribution because one phoneme cannot be substituted by another phoneme. If you do that, meaning will be seriously altered. But in the case of allophones, one allophone may be replaced by another allophone by a speaker. It does not cause any serious meaning change at all. Therefore, we say that allophones are in complementary distribution. So when you learn phoneme, you should say phoneme is the minimal distinctive unit of sound. Minimal in the sense it cannot be further divided. Distinctive because one phoneme cannot be replaced by another phoneme. Phonemes are in contrastive distribution. And then we learn allophones. Allophones are the variations of phonemes. The only difference is with regard to the pronunciation. One allophone may be replaced by another allophone, by one more allophone, but it does not cause any serious meaning change. Therefore, we call allophones to be in, we say that they are in complementary distribution. So, we learn aspirated per and unaspirated per. Similarly, with the case of the consonant L, there are two variations or there are two allophones for the consonant L. It's given in page number 38. What are the two allophones of the consonant L? Clear L and dark L. Clear L and dark L. Clear L occurs when it is followed by a vowel or a diphthong or a semi-vowel. For example, words like lip, lie, lay, etc. In these words, the consonant L is followed by a vowel. In the case of lip, L is followed by the vowel E. In the case of lie, L is followed by the diphthong I. Right? So, if in a word, if the consonant L is followed by a vowel, then we use the variation called clear L. Clear L, or that variation of L or that allophone of L is known as clear L. There are other cases where you may use dark L. Dark L is not followed by a vowel in the final position preceded by a consonant. So, dark L, dark L is a variation or an allophone of L which is caused by further tongue tension. Okay, so this is these are the two variations or the two allophones of the consonant L, clear L and dark L. Then you have R. The consonant R also has several variations. We call those variations allophones of R, right? In English, in some words, even though the letter R appears in the spelling of a word, R may be kept silent. And there are other cases where the consonant R is pronounced in different ways. So, linking R, intrusive R, trill or roll, tap or flap. Linking R. So, when and how does it appear? Linking R. See, take for example the sentence, this is my car. Here, R is kept silent. This is my car. C-A-R. In the spelling of the word car, it is written properly, but the consonant R remains silent in the sentence, this is my car. But take another sentence, this car is mine. Here, the word car, which ends in the consonant R, is followed by another word is, which begins with the vowel E. So, in that case, we are articulating or pronouncing loudly the consonant R. My car is red. Or take for example another expression, cheer up. Cheer up. So, cheer. So, if you just say the word cheer simply, you just say cheer and R is silent. But if you say cheer up, then the word cheer is followed by another word up, which begins in a vowel A. Therefore, we have to articulate that loudly, and that's why cheer up. And that's why this car is mine. So, this type of R is called linking R. In connected speech, when one word that ends in the consonant R is followed by another word that starts with a vowel, then this consonant R has to be articulated loudly. Okay, and this variation or this allophone is called linking R. And another one is intrusive R. See, certain speakers have the habit of incorporating a R sound where it's not there found in the spelling. For example, two words which end, a word which ends in a vowel and another word which begins in a vowel. If they appear together, then some people insert a R sound in between them. Asia and Africa. Asia and Africa. Asia and Africa. This is what is written on the book. But some people incorporate a R sound feebly between Asia and Africa. Hosanna. Hosanna. So, that is called intrusive R. Intrusive R. Then you have trill or roll. So, this occurs when it is preceded by a consonant. Trill or roll. Here your tongue is rolling against your hard palate of the mouth when you say that. Branch. Say for example, branch. This branch of the bank. So when you take the word branch, B, a consonant appears first, then it is followed by the consonant R. So when R is preceded by a consonant, ഇവിടെ branch എന്നുള്ള കേസിൽ R എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ കോൺസണന്റ് തൊട്ട് മുമ്പേ വേറൊരു കോൺസണന്റ് വന്നിരിക്കുക. So, അങ്ങനെയുള്ള കേസിൽ we call such variation of r or such allophone of r is called trill or roll, branch, craft, etc. അവിടെയെല്ലാം റയ്ക്ക് തൊട്ട് മുമ്പേ ഒരു കോൺസണന്റ് വരുമ്പോൾ we call that r trill or roll. And then you have tap or flap. എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞാൽ just for once your tongue taps or flaps against the roof of your mouth. If that is the case, then the consonant r, that variation of the consonant r is called a tap or a flap. For example, the word very. So here in the word very, the consonant r occurs in the middle of two vowels. So if that is the case, then such variation of r is used. We call it tap or a flap. Very, hurry. In all these words, the consonant r occurs in between two vowels. So we get a variation or an allophone of r called tap or a flap. So there the portion ends, and I'll just tell you what allophones are once again. Allophones are the variations of a phoneme. Variants of a phoneme. They are phonemically the same. Phoneme ennulla nilayil adu same thaneyanu. But they are phonetically different because they occur in different phonetic environment. They are phonetically different. ഉച്ചാരണത്തിൽ വ്യത്യസ്തമാണ്. പക്ഷെ phoneme ഏതാണെന്ന് ചോദിച്ചാൽ they are phonemically the same but phonetically different. So we learned the variations of 3 consonants today. We learned the allophones of 3 consonants today. Started with p. The variations or the allophones of p are aspirated p and unaspirated p, both represented using square brackets. And secondly, we learned the allophones of l, clear l and dark l. Then we learned the allophones of the consonant r. They are linking r, intrusive r, trill or roll, tap or flap. ഓരോന്നും അപ്പിയർ ചെയ്യുന്ന ഫോണറ്റിക് എൻവയൺമെന്റ് ഏതാണെന്നുള്ളത് കൃത്യമായിട്ട് ടെക്സ്റ്റ് ബുക്കിൽ പറയുന്നുണ്ട്. അത് ഞാനിവിടെ എക്സ്പ്ലെയിൻ ചെയ്ത് കഴിഞ്ഞു. ഇൻ പേജ് 38 they have clearly given ഈ r എന്ന് പറഞ്ഞ കോൺസണന്റ് പല രീതിയിൽ ആർട്ടിക്കുലേറ്റ് ചെയ്യപ്പെടുന്നു. And the variations in the articulation of the consonant r according to the phonetic environment are known as allophones of the consonant r. അത് ലിങ്കിങ് r ആവാം, ഇൻട്രൂസീവ് r ആവാം, trill or roll ആവാം, tap or flap ആവാം. Trill, roll എന്നുള്ള സെയിം കാര്യത്തിന് പറയുന്ന 2 ടേംസ് ആണ്. ടാപ്പും ഫ്ലാപ്പും സെയിം കാര്യത്തിൽ പറയുന്ന 2 ടേംസ് ആണ്. Okay, so we learned phonemes today, we learned minimal pairs today, then we learned allophones. I hope the session was clear to you. Go through your textbook many a time, and if you have any doubt, you are free to ask me. Thank you.